Fernie versus Sparwood, the 2026 real estate outlook. My prediction, let's have a look. Everybody knows that the market has slowed down. Prices aren't climbing the way that they used to. Buyers are cautious. Sellers are tired. But here's the mistake most people are making. They talk about the market as if Fernie and Sparwood are the same thing. They are absolutely not. Heading into 2026, Fernie and Sparwood are in very different positions, with very different risks and very different opportunities. And choosing the wrong one for your situation can be a very expensive mistake. So today I want to break down Fernie versus Sparwood, what's actually going on the ground, where pressure is coming from, and who each market is really for as we move through 2026. Let's start with the big picture. Fernie and Sparwood sit less than 30 minutes apart. 20 minutes actually, 15 in the summer when the roads are nice and clear. But economically, they operate on different engines. Fernie is a lifestyle-driven market, tourism-influenced market, amenity-based market. Demand here is emotional as much as it is financial. People buy Fernie because they want Fernie and the Fernie lifestyle. Sparwood, on the other hand, is employment anchored and industry driven, value oriented. Demand in Sparwood is practical. People buy in Sparwood because it works. And that difference matters a lot in a smaller, slower market. Fernie pricing is higher and always has been. That means larger mortgages, higher carrying costs, more sensitivity to rates. When markets slow, Fernie doesn't collapse, it stalls. Buyers become selective, negotiations get tougher, homes sit longer unless they're priced correctly. Sparwood pricing is slower, more accessible. And that creates smaller mortgages, more first-time home buyers, less sensitivity to small price swings. And in a reset market, affordability becomes a strength, and Sparwood benefits from that. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. Fernie, it's very constrained and it's complicated, just like that relationship you're in. Fernie's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. Land is limited, geography is tight, development is slow and highly scrutinized. Most ownership housing development in Fernie moves cautiously, slowly, faces higher costs, requires stronger end buyer demand. And as rates rose and buyers hesitated, many ownership projects slowed or paused. And that hurts short-term activity, but it also protects Fernie's long-term by preventing oversupply. Fernie doesn't flood the market easily, that's for sure. Sparwood, on the other hand, it's got more land, it's got fewer starts. Sparwood has more physical room to grow, but that doesn't mean development rushes in. Why? Because construction costs are still high, financing still expensive, and prices, they must stay affordable, so you don't have that extra wiggle room. That has quietly stalled new ownership starts in Sparwood as well. So while Sparwood can grow more easily than Fernie, it still isn't building aggressively right now. And that means future supply is thinning in both towns, just for very different reasons. Investors, rentals, and cash flow, this is where the divergence really shows. Fernie tracks short-term rental buyers, lifestyle investors, appreciation-focused buyers, and that works when rates are low, nightly rates are climbing, occupancy felt unlimited, and now carrying costs are high, regulations are tighter, revenue ceilings are real. And some investors are holding tight. Others are quietly exiting, not panicking, just doing the math. Sparwood investors, on the other hand, they were never chasing a lifestyle. They were chasing workforce rentals, stability, cash flow. That math is tighter now, but it hasn't broken the same way. Rents are flatter, yes. Costs are higher, yes. But Sparwood investors are generally less leveraged, less speculative, more long-term. And that makes Sparwood steadier, but also slower. Fernie demand, it's tied to tourism, remote workers, lifestyle migration. That demand is real, but it's also discretionary. People can wait, they can rent longer, they can delay decisions. Sparwood demand is tied to employment stability. When jobs are steady and the mines are booming, buyers are active, really active. Rents will stay occupied, turnover continues. That doesn't mean prices soar, but it does mean the floor tends to hold better. So what does 2026 really look like? In Fernie, 2026 is going to be, I'm going to guess, likely slower, but still resilient. Highly property-specific outcomes. Strong homes still sell. Overpriced homes will sit and struggle. They won't even get shown. Fernie rewards long-term lifestyle buyers, strong financial positions, and patience. Sparwood in 2026, well, looks steadier, little flatter, fewer dramatic swings, while value-driven activity and more consistent demand. Sparwood will reward those affordability-focused buyers, workforce households, and long-term holds. Neither market is better. They're just built for different people. So what are the strengths and the weaknesses of Fernie and Sparwood? Well, Fernie's strengths, lifestyle demand, limited land, long-term desirability. Fernie's weaknesses are higher prices, higher carrying costs, more sensitivity to rates. Sparwood strengths, affordability, employment stability, lower risk of over leverage. Sparwood weakness, less lifestyle demand, slower appreciation, fewer emotional buyers. So right now, what do? The biggest mistake people are going to make heading into 2026 is assuming that all the nearby markets behave the same way. Absolutely, 100% the wrong idea. Fernie and Sparwood don't at all share the same things. They reward different strategies, different timelines, and different personalities. Knowing which one fits you matters more than anything else that you're trying to figure out. If you want to avoid the most common mistakes buyers are making and sellers are making in markets like these, watch the next video that comes up on your screen. And if you want to talk to me, give me a shout. I'm easy. See you in the next one. Keep it classy, Fernie, and keep it classy, Sparwood.